Howdy y'all, welcome back. Today I decided I wanted to start with our life, beginnings and always. I was having not the best week earlier this week. So I don't know, I was feeling a little depressed. Now I'm feeling better and I want to finish off Derek's Don't Rumba. We've already finished Don't Rumba. Our life and our life began always. So step 4 is gonna be an epilogue, and it's supposed to be extra long, like one long extra long. Okay, it's supposed to be one extra long moment. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. So let's just go ahead and continue. Choose an epilogue, Derek. In between. Okay. Feelings for Cove, fond. Nada. Feelings for Derek. Let's do love. Ready. Since you're romantically interested in Derek and are old enough to start being physically affectionate most seriously, you can choose what initiative level he has throughout this step. Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we've added some flexibility in how it works out. Low initiative means that Derek will occasionally ask to touch the MC, and in those situations there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC as a greeting or in an emotional moment. Actually, I said love. Let's do crush. Let's do crush. Okay. Right, did I do crush? I just want to make sure I selected it. Okay, yes. Every piece of physical interaction will be either initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Also, before we continue, I'll need to open up the chat on my computer so I can see. Okay. And let me unmute the desktop so y'all can hear. Okay. Either be initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means there will be those certain times when Derek requests to touch the MC, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and he'll be pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the MC a kiss because he's happy or emotional or something else. In other situations, you can choose not to make the first move in order to give Derek the space to be the one to act afterwards. Overall, the love interest can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything middle does, but also means that the player's agency will be reduced to a degree in favor of having Derek give physical affection even more frequently and with less prompting. Instead of all the major affection giving situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Derek acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you're very comfortable with physical affection and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Derek ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high-level initiative makes a difference tend to come up in scenes that are exclusively to be in a relationship. Parts that are also included in the middle initiative will also be seen whether you're dating or not. Once you pick your level, it can't be changed partway through the step. The choice only comes up at the very beginning of a story section. We hope you enjoy whichever initiative option you decide on. Which initiative level will you have for Derek step 4? I don't remember the initiative level that I had when I did Cove. But I'm reading this over again. It says high initiative only really matters when you're in a relationship. And I think if we're in a relationship, I think maybe high initiative would be fine. And so your days growing up in the loving cradle of Sunsetburg came to an end. In the years that passed since graduation, you moved out of your childhood home and made your own way in the world. You live alone, live with a pet, live with pets, live with Cove and his fish, live with Cove, his fish, and a pet you picked, live with Cove's fish and the pets you picked. How about we live with Cove? I don't think I selected this last time, but let's live with Cove. Worked at a fine company, had a business of your own, co-owned a business with Cove, had multiple ways of earning income, was still focused on pursuing education. Probably that. Your family members went through the same kinds of leaps into independence. Liz and Lee both eventually earned degrees and started fantastic careers in new towns. But your mom's and Cole's father still lived in the same street as they had for all those years before. It was comforting to you that there were some things that remained in the old neighborhood. And despite the ever-changing reality of your adult life, your friends were still your friends. Though of course, things weren't exactly the same for them either. Very recently, Terry came out as a man and switched the spelling of his name to use a Y instead of an I. He also confessed his love for Miranda, which she excitedly reciprocated. They moved in together recently in a city out past Sunsetburg. One person who did disappear into the shuffle of memories inside your mind was Baxter. After his vacation in Sunsetburg one year, he was just gone. That was a loss you felt. He was someone you considered a friend during those days. And then there's what became of the sad little boy you grew up with, Cole Holden. Of course, he was still a very important person in your heart. Cole was a friend you can count on. Cole was your absolute most cherished friend. Cole was your family, and he always would be. He truly thrived in his continued efforts of cultivating, loving, and supporting relationships with his family and friends. His personality had changed, becoming more open than ever before. Cole was a warm, inviting, considerate man who took the lessons he learned over the years to treat the people around him with patience and understanding. When Cole eventually developed a picture of the future he wanted to have it as adult, and made perfect sense to you based on his interests. Cole got a 2-year degree. After that, he began working full-time at Orca, helping educate the public on ocean conservation and participating in shore restoration efforts. As an adult, Cole was also able to reorganize, to recognize, and have diagnosed that he was on the autism spectrum. It was something that hadn't been noticed by the doctors as a child, but he was still the same Cole he always was to you, and he was just glad to understand himself better. It thrilled you to see how happy and successful he'd grown up to be. Growth and change came for the Suarez family as well. Mr. Suarez continued to run the scuba shop with Mr. Holden, but that was about the only constant that remained. They moved to a new condo in Prison Vista City as the 3 boys got older and the nest began to empty. The baby of the family, Nicolas, was eventually the only one left at home. Jorge went to a local college, staying in the dorms. Then there was an eldest son, Derek Suarez. He left the area years ago to attend an out-of-state college on a sports scholarship. You kept in touch with him during those days as you had in the past. Derek had since graduated. He was sure he would have success in whatever he pursued. The long-term direction of his career going forward was ambiguous to you, but there was still news Derek had been able to share. He was returning to the city where he'd grown up in, and as always, Derek had a plan. The foggy and scratched glass door of the bus swung open with a gas of air, allowing you and the rest of the passengers to disembark at your destination. You stepped from the massive vehicle into Prison City bus station. Crowds of travelers bustled through the concrete floors. A constant stream of strangers came from hallways, shuttles, and other buses. The station was absolutely packed. It was vacation season. Summer had only just begun. The California heat already immense. You'd be lucky if even a single day of your much anticipated trip was under 90 degrees. Arriving was still a great relief. Steaming in the humid bus station was definitely preferable to baking inside the metal walls of the bus itself. It was a fairly short ride over, but still, you'd had plenty of that already on the long ride day. You'd already had to take a plane too. The bus was simply the last leg of the trip. I'm guessing that this determines whether we live in California or not. You didn't take your own car because it would have been even more convenient. It was too far for you to have driven. There's no way around the bus ride. You don't own a car. You're gonna drive basically yourself. Yes. I don't drive. But Derek had his own car, so that would be your last bus ride until it was time to go home. One of your sweaty hands kept a slippery grip on the handle of your rolling suitcase. It was a well-worn piece, frayed at the edges with an annoying loose wheel on the left side that dared you to keeping it moving in a straight line. Okay. You'd had it since you moved out of your mom's house. Now it was returning with you, at least the general area, since you wouldn't be staying in Sunset Bird. Your accommodations were there in the city. All you had to do was inform your old friend Derek you were ready to be picked up. And so, in your other hand was your unlocked phone with a contact screen up. You selected Derek's name, saw the last thought he had sent you, and texted him a quick message. Who's this speaking? Okay. Good luck on your trip. Let me know when to come by. I'll be ready for you. Hey, I'm here. I've arrived. Guess who survived the trip? Yeah. Derek, I'm in town now. This is how I speak. This is how I text. You scooted closer to a wall, positioning yourself out of the path, but in a place that was still easily visible. It only took a minute to get situated and your phone was already buzzing with a response. Coming! You cracked a smile at the screen of your cell and the brief message that lit it up. Then you put it away. He'd be there soon. There wasn't much else to do besides watch the tide of people go by and think. Recollections of how you end up in that spot came to mind. The two of you had consistently kept in touch. He knew what was happening with you and you with him. For the past months, the catch-up calls and the texts you had with Derek included updates of his process of moving. He decided to head back to the city, at least temporarily, to help his dad with the business and work some things out for himself for his own future career prospects. Derek kept you in the loop with his house hunting, logistics, victories, and the setbacks in making a major life transition. It all came together less than a month ago. The Suarez family was naturally thrilled to have him there. Jorge already lived near, only 40 minutes away, and Nicolas was still at the home, so the whole team could be together again. The biggest brother was just happy to return to his own stomping grounds after all the years of being away. But it wasn't a familiar locale for only him. Sunset Bird was the next town over. He knew that. Derek's deep voice played inside your head. The animated way he spoke through the phone a few days ago was fresh in your memory. He talked about how he made it to his new apartment with an extra room and that you should totally come to stay for a while. You'd be able to visit with his brothers and parents and your own parents in your childhood neighborhood, and you get to see him too. Finding a hotel in the area was always the biggest problem of coming back home. You had to appreciate the unique opportunity Derek had provided. Though, even if he had lived on the opposite end of the country, you would have tried to make it. He meant more to you than just a couch you could crash on. Seeing Derek was your main priority for the trip. You both worked it out so you could be there. Unfortunately, your other good pal from your youth couldn't make it, Cove Holden. He He pouted a little about not getting to see Derek or return to Sunset Berry with you, but he recovered. Oh, that's so annoying. Especially because he would be coming later that very summer. He simply wouldn't be able to do it twice in one season. You'd be with Cove then, and Derek would still be in town too. This time, though, it would be bonding time for you and Derek. You were looking forward to the trip as much as you knew Cove was. It was going to be an amazing time, you were certain. The whole thing was nerve-wracking, but you didn't want to miss the chance. It had been a long time since you'd been together in person. You wondered what he'd think. It had been a long time since you'd been together in person. You worried what he'd think. You changed over the years, but you hoped you and Derek would stay close. I'd probably worry. I have such anxiety. What if he realized that you weren't someone he wanted to be friends with anymore? Me. That is me. That is me. Those idle thoughts led to idly checking the time on your phone. It had only been about 5 minutes since you sent the text. You put your phone away yet again. It was a grand tradition of being in the bus station, waiting somewhere, checking the time, and then looking around. You went back to the third step. Throughout the spacious area, there was plenty of other travelers repeating the exact same process as you. Other than the people filling in the space, the scene was virtually unchanged since the first time you'd seen it. You could easily recall the exact day that was. Father's Day, when you were 13. Derek had been so thoughtful, inviting you to go over to his house so you wouldn't feel lonely for the holiday. He didn't make you go through any of it on your own. I'm sorry if that also spiked the mic. I hit the microphone by accident. It wouldn't be much longer until he was by your side again. You let out a shaky breath. And then over the murmur of a bustling crowd, an echoing beat pounded through the air. It was the sound of rapid footsteps against the solid station floor. Pushing off the wall, you scanned the crowd for the source. It didn't take an I Spy champion to notice the man in the bright sleeveless sweatshirt sprinting towards the bus landing like he was about to miss the last ride of the day. Oops. Skip. But he didn't have a map, bags, or a ticket in hand. He wasn't there to go anywhere else. He had somebody to see. And that was you. Derek had made it. Oh, look at him. He neared the drop-off spot while swiveling his head. When his gaze fell on you, over to the side, his mad dash abruptly came to a stop. Derek was a solid rock in the middle of a slow-moving river of unfamiliar faces. He had grown so much, quite. Oh, look at the smile. A sparkling grin broke through the stiffness. That part of him hadn't changed. 10 years older, but still as much boyish charm as ever. You walked over to meet him. You ran towards him. You rushed to Derek and jumped into his arms. You were rooted in place. You stayed out of the way and waited. With your suitcase rattling behind you, you pushed through the crowd. Derek turned on his heels to change the trajectory of his path. He took bounding strides to close the rest of the distance between you and him. You met partway across the station, let go of the bag, and waved. Initiated a high five, patted his back, opened your arms to a hug. Let's give him a hug. Derek didn't miss a beat and scooped you in a warm embrace. Is it just me or the area around his eyes is red? It was a wonderful start to the reunion. They released you from the hole.
It's been a while, huh?
Wow, his voice. So deep. Sup, Pascal? It's been a while. With the man himself right in front of you, it was possible to appraise him fully. As you had to do from the beginning, you looked down to see Derek's face. Despite still surpassing him in height, it was clear he'd grown a lot. Hi, I've missed you. It's been way too long. Derek's back, you joke. I missed you.
I missed you.
good to see you, guy. Derek watched you so gently, his words couldn't ring anything but true. Settling his eyes on you was something he was grateful to behold. He was grateful he could do. And hearing him call you by that long-time moniker really brought it home that you were, well, home. Your anxiety was already fading. Derek, just being Derek, was the assurance you needed. Same to you, Derek.
You ready?
To go? Got all your stuff? Yeah, it's only the suitcase. Which way are we going? That way. Derek rubbed the back of his head as his immense cheer chipped away just a bit. Do you mind having to take a stroll? I didn't bring the car. My place is about a 15-minute walk from here and the parking was wild. I would have had to park 20 minutes away just to find something outside the apartment's reserve spot. That's one thing about this place I didn't miss. He let out an airy chuckle, still awkwardly scratching his hair. So, we're gonna have to get in some steps. That's alright, it's not your fault. What a pain, it's so hot out. What a pain, excuse me. What a pain in the ass, it's so hot out. Honestly, it'd be nice to move around after that bus ride. He made an okay sign with your fingers. I'd probably be, trying to defuse the situation.
Thanks.
I don't want to put any blame. Maybe we should tell the mayor about this. Maybe. Oh, but, You pressed the finger to your tip of your chin, thinking. You got here sooner than 15 minutes. It was barely more than 5. Yeah. He attempted to shrug casually, but a smirk tugged at his mouth. He's been waiting here the whole time, I know.
Well.
Oh, he walked. Okay. So he ran here. It's 15 minutes if you walk. It goes quicker if you run. Especially when you're a fast runner, like if you're a trained athlete, for example. Derek jumped in place to spread his feet apart and strike a superhero pose like he was still a 13-year-old. Oh, that's so cute. Ah, thanks for going to the trouble. Wow, what a hunk. He is quite the hunk. You didn't have to do that. I hope you didn't push yourself. That sounds like you. He blushed wordlessly. Oh, look at him blush. Totally, right? Once again, completely carefree, Derek tilted his head over the way he came. Let's go! You reached down to collect your suitcase, only to grab empty air. You glanced towards the ground just in time to see it rolling away, securely in Derek's hand. I can carry it, Derek. Thank you for your help. Hey, get back here with that, you joked. Wait, didn't you? You just sprinted here. Don't make yourself carry the bag, too. A gentleman, as always, you blinked at him. I can carry it.
No problem.
And so can I. You took his free hand. You grabbed the corner of the suitcase handle. You stepped up beside him. Derek had his plan and it was fine with you, but being left behind wasn't. You moved ahead to jump up and join with your friend. You and Derek left the station side by side and made your way through the vast city. He pointed out a towering building against the skyline in the distance. It was sparkling and new, and had to be at least 10 floors. That's where you were going. Having such an obvious landmark to walk towards was convenient. You weren't familiar with that part of the city. The condo where the Suarez family used to live was further away from the station. It was certainly very different from Sunset Bird. You easily knew every corner of the town and could go from end to end on foot. Where you continued along, certain that you would make it to your destination. His pace wasn't too fast or too slow. He was conscious of his company and wasn't going to let you get separated out there. Derek chatted lightheartedly as your thoughts were drifting along. It felt completely natural being there with him. He didn't struggle to let you into his world. There was a place he left open waiting for you. Derek was such great company. He had been ever since you met, but over the years you slowly begun to feel for him as some other than a friend. The moment you saw him again, you realized your feelings for him had changed. Probably out, maybe this. Being near him was exciting to you in ways that wasn't before. Your heart beat faster. The jaunt through the city breezed by. There was so much to catch up on. Even though you didn't sprint, the 15-minute walk still felt much closer to 5. When you arrived at the ground of the skyscraper Derek lived in, he showed you right up. At his front door, Derek fished a key out from his sweatshirt. He swung the key into a silver loop around his fingers and joked about his near disaster from earlier that day. He'd run straight out of his house once you texted, and he already hit the button for the elevator when he realized his apartment was left unlocked. Also, I realized I had cut off some of the screen by accident. Sorry. There we go. Derek had to bolt back down the hall as the elevator arrived, lock the door, and make it back to the other end before the elevator closed. But he made it. You quit that being on such high flow really here had to. I had a longer way to go and give him more time. Derek nodded with a laugh. Welcome to my home. Derek's apartment was a modern but still cozy space and completely spotless. A balcony wrapped around 2 walls of the abode. Through the crystal clear floor to ceiling windows, you could see the ocean.
What do you think?
It's looking good already, huh? Too bad I didn't put any of it together. It came furnished. None of this is yours? Nah. I didn't have a lot of important stuff in my old place. Nothing worth bringing all the way over. And who knows how long I'm gonna be here. Getting new things didn't sound like a great idea. We'll see what happens long term. I might stay longer than you think. Still, at least for now, a prefab apartment it is. It's wonderful. There's a real lack of footballs and soccer balls in here. That's a smart way to handle it. You're lucky to live here. You're not alone. It is wonderful having everything furnished. Thanks. Glad you think so too. You're living here too. Glad you think so. You're living here too. For a while, at least. Derek cast his gaze over the room like he was meeting a friend. He had made a good impression on you that had him standing proud. But he cut himself off and focused attention back on the actual guest. You can have my spare key while you're here, and I'll show you your room so you can put this away before we get distracted. That was said while Derek lifted up his suitcase he insisted on carrying. That'd be great. You were led towards the narrow hall at the side of the apartment and stopped right at the first door in the path. You arrived already. Derek opened the room for you, holding the door until it passed through. You entered your temporary bedroom. He followed you inside, still tugging the suitcase behind him. The furniture style was a perfect match to the living area. It was easy to see that it come as a full set. Derek set the bag up against the corner of the bed to keep it out of the way.
Oh, man.
It's incredible that you're here, especially now. Jorge and Nico are both on summer vacation. They're super looking forward to come and see you. Can you believe they're gonna be juniors next year? Yeah, I'm about to say, huh? Like, I know they're not the same age. Okay. Jorge for college and Nico for high school, obviously. He spoke with an affectionate enthusiasm. We used to babysit them, and now they're practically scholars. Not to mention the fact that Jorge outgrew you. How big? I have to see him. He's probably massive. I bet in a couple more years, Nicolas will too. So much for being the big brother. Oh, that's not his voice. Hold on. I bet in a couple more years, Nicolas will too. So much for being the big brother. It was a blow to Derek, but he took it on the chin and snorted in a good humor. You will always be their big brother, no matter how tall they get. Jorge might have more height, but there's no way he beats your muscle size. I can't wait to see them. They're still little babies in my mind. You sneak it along with them. Yeah, that's totally true. It was a ponderous thing, hearing about other people getting older and progressing in life. Lil Jorge and Nicolas had grown up so much. The same number of years had passed for you and you were older than them. You were an adult with a place of your own. You achieved more than you hoped for. You were doing just as well as you aspired to. Things were going alright so far. It ideally keep getting better. It had been tough and you didn't feel like you had really accomplished much. Your life was just a mess after, as far as you were concerned. You know how you felt was complicated. I mean, this is true about my life. But you definitely understood what it meant to be an adult. That made you feel like you were still a teenager rather than a real adult. I mean, I kind of still feel like I'm a teenager a little bit. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. You weren't sure you would ever reach a point where you saw yourself as completely grown. A pause had formed before you realized it. You blinked and brought your mind back to the present. Derek often understanding smiled and spoke to give a different type of offer.
So?
Want to see the rest of the apartment? I'll give you the tour. Yeah, that'd be great. You casually went through the still open bedroom door and Derek shut it behind you. The grand tour of the Derek Suarez locale started immediately. Excuse me. You got to see the scenic guest bathroom with all the amenities, and he showed off the vast end of the hall with a closed door. Anything could have been beyond that point. Your helpful guide informed you it was his bedroom. Isn't it crazy? Having the master bedroom at the end of the hall? Sometimes I look down there and think that's gotta be my mom and dad's room. You're moving up in the world. You and Derek strolled back to the section to explore the dining area and the kitchen. You described the treasures hidden inside of each cupboard, and you even got to check out inside the fridge. It was difficult to pretend the contents were part of some tourist adventure experience. Other things there spread out sparsely among the shelves were water bottle, colorful sports drinks, a jug of 2% milk, a box of salad greens, and a few containers of some kind of packed meals. Derek awkwardly cleared his throat, feeling as if he needed to explain the sight in front of you.
Oops.
I don't have much in stock right now. I usually eat at my parents' place or get takeout. That is me. I'm on vacation, sort of. A working vacation? But I should change that, especially now that there's somebody else here. He swung his arm to the side to close the fridge, but yanked it back a crack before it shut. The bottles in the door clattered. Oh, do you need water or something? Anything to drink? I've at least got that. I'll take the water bottle. I'll have one of those sports drinks. I have a glass of milk. I'm alright. You shook your head. I'll have some water. I usually don't drink sports drinks.
Leave it to me.
Leave it to me. I got you. Derek snuck his arms through the opening and pulled out a chilled water bottle. He closed the fridge for real and straightened out his stance. You accepted the drink from his hand. The sightseeing moved back into the living room from there. His fun tidbits were about which switch turned on which light and how to turn on the fan. And here's our last stop. With a flourish, he pulled open the sliding door that led up to the balcony. Cool. Could we stay inside? Thanks for getting the door. Derek? Well, I don't really like heights. Sorry. He smiled with interest. He took a step back. you're welcome. You're welcome. Derek gestured once more to the wide open door. After you. You were losing track of how many doors he'd opened for you already, but you walked through the latest one in the sizzling summer air. Just making up words. The view was even more breathtaking than you realized from the living room. You could see it for miles. The sea, the sprawling city, the rolling hills beyond that. Neither of you spoke for a moment. Derek moved past you and leaned against the railing. He stared out into the vast world ahead of him. Very nice view, it looks pretty. You rested against it too, right next to Derek. You rested against it too, a little ways from Derek's spot. You just went to stand next to him. You leaned back to the edge, from the edge. I'm doing well today, Okapi Flower. How are you doing today? He didn't flinch. Derek welcomed your presence with ease. This was the part I was most into about the apartment. Whatever place I got, I knew it had to have a balcony. Even a small one would have been nice. But this was amazing. Feeling settled, you sipped at the refreshing water Derek had given you. He pinched his shoulders up and sent a grin your way.
All right.
So that's it. The whole place. Unless you actually wanted to see inside my room. The suggestion was given with a coy brow raise and a little laugh. I'm good, thanks for the tour. The tour. I'm good, thanks for the tour. Okay. I was looking forward to seeing your room, you joked. I would like to see that sometime, you teased. No thanks, but that was fun. You shook your head in amusement. You bashfully broke eye contact. You're good and you recovered from your cold and your pink eye. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm glad that you're okay. And you still miss Cove, not gonna lie. I do too. I picked that we lived with him this time to see if that'll do anything, but he's not in the step. So, you know, that's sad. But I'm looking forward to see the ending we get with Derek. He's really nice. Really handsome too. Let's see. Derek pushed himself up from the bar to stand at his full height. This is such perfect timing. We're both gonna be in town for Father's Day tomorrow. That was right. You'd be present to spend the holiday in person with the Suarez family. You'd only ever stop being with the Suarez's for that day because you moved. You used to spend that day celebrating with Mr. Holden until you moved away. You hadn't attended the Father's Day event since that first time. I'd probably just, celebrate with Mr. Holden. Thanks to Derek's surreptitious invitation to Father's Day that first year you met him, you were able to be honest about how you view Mr. Holden. It led to a change in the way you spent the holiday from then on, because the feelings of familial affection were mutual. Mr. Holden was thrilled to have you there for Father's Day celebrations, and that continued until you no longer lived close enough to do it. And you also kept in touch with Mrs. Suarez by sending cards. You also kept in touch with Mrs. Suarez by calling. It wasn't the same as being there, though. I'm probably not the person to do things like this. You were looking forward to being in town for the occasion, to say the least. Derek spoke up again to elaborate on the plan. I'll be going to see my dad and everyone else. That's pretty obvious. We're just gonna hang out at their place.
Well,
I know you might have your own plan with your own dad, but I was thinking that maybe we could have a combinations Father's Day get-together. It's so rare that we're all here. It feels like a waste to separate for the holiday. That's why I figured we can invite Mr. Holden over. Okay, we at least get to see Mr. Holden. He loves you. My dad loves you too. And the two of them are best friends. I doubt they have a problem with you with that as long as you didn't mind meshing your celebration with ours. not gonna be a huge party. Just going to my parents' place to hang out. You don't need to get a gift from my dad either. I got him a tie, but it's not a big deal. I think that'd be the perfect solution. I was gonna suggest the same thing. Sounds like a win-win to me. You nodded with a smile. You shrugged. All right. He rubbed his hands together eagerly.
Phew.
Tomorrow's gonna be a great day. And look at me, inviting you to Father's Day directly like a big boy. Derek was so tickled inside and out that he scratched his cheek and let out a rumbling chuckle. That's amazing, Derek. I'm proud. Thanks. His gaze swept over the city once more as his mind began to wander away from where his body was planted on the balcony. Man, it's insane how much time has gone by. It's been, what, 10 years? 10 years since we first met? Where does the time go, huh? It's been a good decade. The smile on Derek's face put up an admirable fight to remain upright, but it dipped enough to reveal some wistfulness in Derek's words. As sweet as Derek was as a person, he held some bitterness inside. And here's to many more good decades. The world really needs to put a pause for a second, for real though. I really wish I had a pause button to use. Excuse me. You hummed contemplatively. Yeah, I've had better decades, you joked. I'd probably be the one to say, yeah, that sounds like me. It was so nice coming back to the city and seeing him. It fully sunk in that you were with Derek again after so long. Yet, it still wasn't enough. You wanted to truly be with him. Derek was a man for you. Oh gosh. That was certain. But did he feel the same way about you? It was too hard to ask. Being with him there as good friends, you felt everything was exactly as it should be. Let's see.
You doing okay?
Okay, so he's not gonna say anything. Okay, good. I don't want to prompt anything right now. Okay. Derek rolled his shoulders and then stretched his arms. His eyelids drooped, but you could still feel that he was watching you.
You doing okay?
So, how tired are you after all that traveling? Because if you're up for it, I was thinking we could go see our families today instead of waiting for tomorrow. The idea had you re-energized and ready to hit the road again. The corners of your mouth curled into a grin. Count me in. Awesome.
Leave it to me.
I'm gonna call my parents to let them know what's up. I know they'll be there. I'll see about getting in touch with Jorge too. If we're lucky, we might get a full house. His mouth cracked into a fond smile. This'll be quick. You won't even miss me. Or maybe you will. I wouldn't mind that. You teasingly shoot him away. I won't be able to if you don't go. Get to it.
Right.
True. Satisfied, Derek pulled his phone out and brought it to his ear. He began to walk away in preparation for the talk. Since he was busy with that, he decided to return to your guest room. You considered freshening up by changing. Tapping your fingers on top of the bag, you cycled through the options in your mind, but none felt right. Eventually, you settled on using the bathroom and splashing some hot water on your face instead. As you crossed the apartment, you peeked over at Derek. There was no way that you could know what was being said, but he shot you an exaggerated thumbs up. You took that as a strong sign that all was going well. Hopping excitedly, you gave him 2 thumbs up back. You couldn't wait to get going. It wasn't very long before your visit was properly arranged. The calls were ended and you were leaving the apartment behind. Derek hesitated at the door and tapped at his bottom lip. He was double checking his mental checklist. But that too was resolved in a short order. You both stepped out into the hall, and this time he remembered to lock the door before he dashed down the hall. Hopping into his car, he promptly took off. The drive was lively. You spent it taking turns telling each other new stories about your families and your latest personal adventures. Thanks to slow-moving traffic, it was a 20-minute drive to reach his parents' new place. Derek pulled in and automatically noted how lucky you sure that this condo had guest spots. Nodding along, you followed as he enthusiastically showed you the way. Derek knocked solidly but not loudly on the door. They knew you were coming. It didn't take you by surprise when the door almost immediately pulled open. Mrs. Swatters joyfully greeted you both. Okay, look at your new hair. Why she look just as young? Like, she's not great at all. Like, our parents look great, but she's not great. Hi, welcome home. Without a second thought, she wrapped her eldest son into her arms. Derek gladly hugged her back with the same vigor. Hey, Mom.
Good to see you.
And Pascal, too. She ushered you two inside, and you got your first look around. The Swatterses had moved there a couple years ago, but you'd never gone to visit until now. It was still just as homey and comfortable as their old apartment. When you traveled further inside, you spotted Mr. Swatters sitting at the kitchen table with a chilled drink. He took a slow, drawn-out sip. Then he placed the cup down and got up to join everyone else. He stood in front of you like you were a newly arrived audience, pointed at his wife and tattled. Okay, so he is a little gray. Mom made me promise not to get the door. She wanted to be the one to answer. Mrs. Swatter was unapologetic and owned up to her actions entirely. She went over to her husband and soothingly rubbed his back.
Thank you.
For being such a good sport about it. Of course, but I get to have my greeting now. Doing exactly as he promised, Mrs. Swatters turned from his wife to you and Derek, the two guests in his home. He pushed his glasses up high up his nose. Hello, kids. I'm happy you came early. I couldn't ask for better visitors. Hi. It's great to see you too. It's been too long. You're both looking wonderful. I love your new place. Smile. It's great to see you too. Oops. You nodded. You kind of nodded as you spoke. You waved as you spoke. You held out a hand to shake as you spoke. You hugged them as you spoke. Overjoyed, you shot forward. One after another, you squeezed both Mr. and Mrs. Swatters into a hug that they each returned eagerly. It's always tough when our kids are gone, but we certainly missed having you run around with them. Yes, it hasn't been the same without you. Okay. Derek clapped his hands together and you couldn't help but smirk. The image reminded you so much of his mom trying to bring order to her amongst your sons. And speaking of...
So?
Where are the bros? It's the same as always. You arrived first. That made sense to you as you being Jorge. He had to rearrange his day on the fly to make it, but why wouldn't Nico there? Your eyebrows raised in surprise. You didn't have to ask for an explanation. Mrs. Swatters gabbed about it in an intentionally overdramatic tone. Period. Okay. Derek's mother's still young. She is. Like, she looks the same. Like, she has no grade. That is my question each day. Nico is never home with me anymore. Now that school's out, he travels into the city as soon as he gets up and only comes back in the evening for dinner. I'm glad that he's got some friends. A mother's gloom over her baby growing up was given its silver lining by the father.
Yes.
He's independent.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. He is usually, but... Mrs. Swatters held her phone up and her lips curled into a mischievous grin. She added a wink when she shifted attention to you. I might have sent a text that you two were coming by. I'm sure that'll get his attention. He'll get his butt back here sooner rather than later for a change. Right. Right. It struck you then, by Derek's understanding tone, that none of this was news to him. They will explain Nico's habits for your sake. The whole family was as polite as they were perceptive. Since we've got time, why don't we show Pascal the condo?
Let's go.
I was about to suggest the same thing. What about you, Pascal? Want to take a tour? For sure. Mrs. Juarez, delight was evident. She endearingly looped her arm through yours to lead you directly. Similarly to what Derek had done earlier that day, his parents led you through the highlights of their new home. Mrs. Suarez proudly listed all the amenities the complex offered outside as well. Derek leisurely followed along behind the group, loosely listening to the fact list. He had a few notes to add here and there. Sometime later, a phone interrupted the conversation with a loud ring. Oh, sorry, that's me. He partially shifted the phone out of his loose pocket and checked for important news. Excuse me. He beamed victoriously and let his phone slide back into the depths.
Nice.
Jorge's here. And with good timing, the tour was complete. Let's go meet Junior. The current group left the hall behind and crowded back into the living room, ready for the party to grow in size. As you got there, you heard a firm and even-paced string of knocks on the door. Mrs. Suarez eagerly shouted over the sound. My turn!
All right.
Fair's fair. Cheerily, Mrs. Suarez jaunted off and swung the door wide open, knowing that his middle son was on the other side. Oh my God, Jorge! And he was, although Jorge Jr. Suarez was hardly Junior anymore. Jorge had not only grown taller than his big brother, but he also towered over his parents. Your jaw would have been on the floor if Derek hadn't mentioned this earlier. Wow, and he looks like his brother. He looks like his brother. Still, from his neat sand and brown hair, his calm expression, and relaxed stance, you knew that he was still the same boy you knew as a kid. Jorge also remained a placid presence in his rambunctious family. They cheered at his arrival, and he smiled sweetly.
Hello.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Welcome home, Junior.
Don't worry about that.
You didn't take long at all. Look at them. Oh, wow. They're so cute. Derek struck when Jorge was distracted by their parents. He hooked an arm around his brother's neck and pulled him in close. Jorge hugged Derek to his side. So, Derek's already here, huh? Yeah, I am. Never would have guessed that. The brothers let go and gave each other one last light shove. Jorge went over to you next.
Hey.
Pascal, it's been a while. Hi, I've been waiting forever to see you. I'm so proud. You grown into such a responsible young man. I missed you. You're all grown up. You grinned. I probably said, you all grown up. You held out your hand from the shake. You offered a high five, pat him on the back, pat his nose. Well, okay. Still, Jorge hesitated before moving forward, and when he was close enough, you caught him in a big hug. He gently patted your back. I'm not the only one who's changed. Have you seen a mirror? You're an adult now too. You notice the remaining ridges in this lift from Jorge's frame. He snacked a drink from the kitchen and settled in. He was joined there by the others and recounted his day so far. Eventually, you all heard the distant sound of a doorknob jangling and turning. No knocking was quiet for this one. There was only one person it could be, the last to arrive for the gathering and the last to have been born, Nicolas. The door popped open with a swish, and you saw that you were undeniably right. Okay, period. It was Nico, but his appearance had your brows pinching. He was extremely different, yet simultaneously so similar to this tiny 6-year-old you had first met him as. Hold on, you get a better look at his outfit. I really like this, it's like a pinafore suit. Pinafore jumpsuit. It's really nice, and I love the long hair on him. He looks so beautiful. Somehow his hair managed to be even wilder than when he was an elementary school kid. Besides that, he became a young man despite continuing to be a baby in your mind's eye. He was sporting a colorful rainbow romper that was fashionable as it was functional, as well as his iconic hair clips to round out the mix of old and new. Look at all three of them. Nicolas is back! With a roll of his eyes, Nicolas animatedly gestured and held his arms out. He bit back an amused laugh. Okay, when I first voiced them, like, I gave like that. Derek's back! That voice. I don't know what voice to give him right now. I wish I could hear his like voice actors. Hold on. Does he have a voice actor? I can't hear anything. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna give him a voice. No shit, I live here. That's not news. News is that Derek and Pascal are back. He bounced over and managed to securely lock himself around his big brother's wide chest. Derek wrapped an arm across his brother's shoulders in response. Derek ruffled Nicolas's long, thick hair before letting him go. It was sweet that the gesture of affection between them hadn't changed, though Derek didn't have to lean down to do it anymore. Hello, son. Thank you for Thank you for coming. Walking by, Nicolas gave a short wave to his parents and then elbowed Jorge chummily as his hello. Jorge teasingly retaliated with a poke to his little brother's side. Finally, Nicolas stepped in front of you. Hey, Pascal. Welcome back to Casa Suarez. Hi. I'm so glad to see you again. It's my sweet baby boy. What a charming gentleman you've grown into. You can't be that big. That's illegal. You can smile. I sound so old like this, but I kind of am old a little bit to younger people. You shook your head, you hugged him, you offered a high five, pinched his cheek. Nicolas didn't stop you. He laughed wholeheartedly and rubbed an eye with the inside of his wrist. Charming is one way to put it. Not sure about the gentleman thing. Now the whole Suarez family plus you was together again. Mr. Suarez admiringly looked at his wife and then his sons. He securely hooked his fingers into his belt loops.
That's good.
Yes. I wonder if anyone here will be coming back tomorrow as well.
Of course.
Pascal and I are going to be here for sure. I might manage to work it out into my busy schedule.
What do you think?
Also, while we're talking about tomorrow, that reminds me, I wanted to ask if it'd be alright for Mr. Holden to join us for Father's Day. It could be a joint party with us and Pascal's family. Oh, Cliff? That would be quite the event. I'd be happy to have the company.
I figured.
I figured, but I wanted to ask first. We'll invite him when we go down to Pascal's neighborhood later. You breathed this brief sigh of relief. The last thing you wanted was to disrupt Father's Day for Mrs. Suarez. Thank you.
That is all right.
No need for that. The more the merrier, as Mr. Holden himself might say. I already can't wait for tomorrow.
Wonderful.
That's exactly what I wanted for the day. Mr. and Mrs. Suarez provided lunch. It was nice for the whole family to be sitting at one visit table. But afterwards, Derek announced that you two should hit the road. I'm gonna get going too. I still have a class later. Are you serious? We've barely done anything. Sorry, Nico. We gotta take the trip out to Sunset Bird before it gets any later. Fine. Me, you, and Jorge are gonna do something together, not just the Father Day thing, okay? Something that's gonna be fun with just us. Sighing affectionately, Mrs. Suarez shed a look with her snickering husband. Nicolas was going through the iconic parents are uncool teen phase.
Don't worry.
I made sure to have the whole day free. I promised to come over early. Derek tilted his head towards you, silently asking your opinion before agreeing to anything. Okay, that's fine with me.
I swear.
Cool. Got that? We'll both be there. Count on it. We can do whatever Nico wants in the afternoon, and it'll be Dad's pick in the evening. Alright, see you then. And with that settled, everyone exchanged their goodbyes and see you soon. You and Derek left in good spirits. You hopped back into his car, already eager for home. Sunset Bird was waiting for you. During the drive, you sent off a text to let your moms know that you were coming by soon. They knew you were arriving today, but they had no idea when you were going to be free to come see them. You also sent a text to Mr. Holden telling him you'd be in the neighborhood today. You decided you'd surprise Mr. Holden. The corners of your mouth curled mischievously. You had a good feeling that he'd be home this afternoon. Humming to himself, Derek sped down the highway. The city skyscrapers were far behind you in the distance, and there was none but rolling hills of green. It was strange to be sitting shotgun with Derek after all the years of your friendship being trapped in a long-distance zone, but at the same time, it also wasn't. What was oddly stranger was how his presence affected you. Having him there by your side was the most normal thing in the world to you. Soon enough, you began to recognize the landmarks dotting your way to your hometown. Excitement buzzing in your skin. You were ready to get back home. The car flew past the now leaving sign, and you rolled down the window to wave at it. Officially, you were finally back in Sunset Bird. It didn't take more than a few minutes to drive through the rest of town, and you rolled into the sleepy neighborhood where you grew up. Derek parked along the curb, and you both slid out.
Nice work.
Safe, we made it. Safe and sound. Derek leisurely leaned on his car. He looked over the roof at you and lifted a questioning brow. So, what do you want to do first? See your moms or go check out Mr. Holden? Let's visit Mr. Holden first. If he's not there, then we can try again after seeing my moms. And if he's there now, there's a chance he might not be when we're done with the other visit. Sounds reasonable to me. Together you crossed the street and walked up to the familiar door. It was still a little odd remembering that the condo was now only inhabited by one single Holden. You rang the doorbell and waited. Luckily, the familiar face of Mr. Holden appeared in the doorway and he beamed at seeing you.
Hey!
Derek gave a big wave of Mr. Holden. Derek gave a big wave that Mr. Holden returned cheerily until his brain caught up enough to let him speak. Where in the world did you come from? Surprise! You tipped your head back and burst into a deep laugh. When you could breathe again, you pointed your thumb at Derek. He's let me stay at his place so I could come visit.
Come on.
That's great. Come on in. He waved for you two to follow him inside. You did, and he glanced back over his shoulder to address you further. So, what can I do for you two today? Well, I do have a question for you. Oh yeah? Ask away. Do you want to go to the Swatters' house for Father's Day with us? He looked at Derek. We've come to invite you to the Swatters' Father's Day celebration. I know you're not really my dad, but I'd like you to be with me on Father's Day. Do I... what? His jaw hung open. Mr. Holden placed a hand on his chest with a thump, giving himself a bit of a jump start. Really? You want me to come for Father's Day? Of course. I wouldn't invite you if you weren't welcome. Pascal's right. My family loves you, and... He paused, glancing over to you. Derek knew how much this invitation meant. You're important to everybody that'll be there. So, would you join us? You could already see the tears start to form in Mr. Holden's eyes. He was trying with great difficulty not to get too emotional.
Okay.
Then I'll be there. Just tell me when and where.
It's no problem.
I'll tell you the details later tonight. Great. Mr. Holden shifted uncomfortably in his seat. He was still feeling overwhelmed by the situation, but he shyly faced you. I hope you've been doing well. I have. It's been good. Really good.
How's it going?
I don't know. I kind of thought that Derek was taller than he was, but I'm taller than him. Mr. Holden's taller than him. Jorge's taller than him. He must not be that tall. He must be maybe 6'5", 11", maybe something like that. Maybe not terribly tall. I thought he was like taller. Glad to hear that. And your moms, are they doing all right? I haven't actually seen them yet. We're going there next. I mean, you live in the same neighborhood as them. You don't talk to them no more? Once your children leave, y'all can't talk? Oh? Can I tag along? I've been meaning to visit them, and it'd be nice to stick with you a little, stick with you two a while longer. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Let's move this party across the street. Nothing else needed to be said after that. And the newly arranged group pivoted out the door and strolled right over to your childhood home. Without missing a beat, you located and rang the oddly placed doorbell. Ma expectantly answered the door. Her eyes sparkled and landed on you immediately.
Hi.
Sweetie, and Derek, welcome. A few seconds later, she realized that there was a third, less anticipated guest at the doorstep. You tried buying back her giggles with little success. Oh, and hello to you, stranger. Hi there. The kids swung by and I thought I'd visit too. What a lovely surprise. Come in, come in. Ma stepped aside, grinning widely. She held the door all the way open so everyone could hurry through. Hey up! Ma's voice rang from the hall right before she appeared physically in front of you. She excitedly stopped at her wife's side.
Nice.
What a crowd! Hi, moms. I missed you. I'm home. You're both looking good. I hope you've been well. He sighed, continued to be there. Hi, moms. The arms around both of them. You took a hand from each of them. You gave them a peace sign. You waved a smile. Melt into your mothers, you could feel each of them soothingly rub your back as they held you in close. You squeezed your eyes shut and released a content sigh. Welcome home, kiddo. Derek gently worked his way into the conversation. You didn't miss the way his skin was suddenly a shade rosier than before.
Good to see you.
Mrs. and Mrs. Whitlock? Okay, wait. Thanks, Mrs. and Mrs. Whitlock, for letting me come by too. It's nice to see you again.
You're fantastic.
You don't need to thank us for that. You can come over anytime. You're an excellent guest.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and we need to thank you for giving our Pascal a place to stay. Now we get to visit him with even more this summer. They shared a knowing look with their eyes alight. They had to be thinking of their big anniversary later in the season. You'd be coming back to Sunset Bird for that. You didn't mind all the traveling. It was worth it. Good point. Happy almost anniversary. Thank you. That's gonna be a night to remember, I'm sure. I bet. We're gonna have a little shindig at the Cypress. But what's shaking? You've been busy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's been crazy for sure with the move and learning the ropes to help my dad out with some things and other stuff. There's a lot going on. Yep. The more I think about it, the more I'm ready for summer vacation. The group relaxed and hung out in the living room. Each person shared updates from the past and plans for the future. It went on until the sun began to set. At that point, you and Derek decided it was best to leave sooner than later. The end of the visit was accepted with grace. Bye! Thanks again for coming to see us.
Take care.
Tell Mrs. Swatters Happy Father's Day for us.
I got you.
We'll be sure to do that. Mr. Holden remained in the seat. He had already planned on visiting with your moms a little while longer.
See you.
I'll see the two of you tomorrow. Bye. With that, you stepped out into the warm embrace of the evening air. Leaving that house, going onto the street. It was something you'd done countless times. Believing how much the context of that action had changed was hard. You were only here for a visit, while the person you were staying with was Derek, a true reversal from the old days. Derek followed you out but didn't go to his car. Instead, he stepped into the center of the road and stayed there. I'm going to get you something to drink and get some water right quick. Right back. I'm back. Sorry, my sibling was downstairs by the kitchen and wanted to talk to me for a little bit, so I spoke for just a bit. But now we're back. His gaze wandered up the hill and past that, off into the distance. He spoke with a voice as comforting as the familiar song of the crickets. Oh, I need a burp. Excuse me. Hey, before we go, could we stretch our legs a bit? There's one other thing that I want to do while we're here. That's no problem. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Derek tilted his head in the direction he wanted to go. His mouth hooked into a grin and he started strolling. He followed him out the side. We're gonna go to the playground. Derek moved with wide, carefree strides. His arms pumped back and forth with each step. Oh, okay. Never mind. Thought we were going to the playground. You find yourself headed out, so we're gonna look at the stuff in the pavement that we saw. I mean that we drew in the concrete. You find yourself headed outside the residential area of the Sunset Bird and onto the main street. It had been nice to refamiliarize yourself with the area during the little jaunt. Derek got a conversation going between you. It's still hard to believe we're hanging out together right now. Seriously, when did that happen?
It's been a long time.
But also, when did it stop happening? It's something I've been thinking about. His voice grew quieter as he was unable to meet your gaze. He shrugged and let the conversation hang on that note. It's so sad to hang up, to leave off a conversation on that note. The walk continued, and you had a good idea of where he was going with at that point. There was sound coming up in the middle of the path, and wouldn't hold any interest in anyone other than you, Derek, and Cole. For the three of you, it was special. Derek crouched down to the ground, right where you would expected. He smiled wistfully at a decade-old inscription. The writing was well worn, but still visible. He slowly placed his finger over the small print he left in the concrete as a 13-year-old. Oh my gosh. That's making me emotional right now. Like, this is just a fictional game. And it's making me emotional. Oh my gosh. Going back at a point where you went and wrote something that you did a whole 10 years ago as a small teenage boy. And those words are still there written. Ugh, the memories. Oh my god, it's so sweet. He was so much larger than he used to be. His finger completely eclipsed a tiny mark. And yet, he seemed small again to you in that moment. Next, Derek moved to the summer 2011 you made. He dragged his fingertip over to carefully trace it. There was something on his mind that swept him miles away all of a sudden. He had no idea what it could be, and that uncertainty left a sour taste on your tongue. Derek remained transfixed with the concrete and his own internal musing. Gradually, his frown worsened.
This sucks.
Time is such a sucky thing to play against. If you mess up, that's it. Even if you try to turn things around later, you're not getting what you lost back. It's just gone. Making mistakes isn't a waste. Do you think you've messed something up? That scares me. That kind of scares me. You should be proud of what you've been able to do. You watched them quietly. Do you think you messed something up? He chuckled, but it was the farthest thing from being reassuring. You nervously chewed at the inside of your cheek.
I really messed up.
A lot of things. That's all that came of it. Derek pushed off the ground and got back onto his feet. He brushed some dirt off and took his foot out. Why does it sound like he was gonna die? That's what it sounds like. He got a picture of himself giving a thumbs up in front of the concrete slab. The solemn air around him vanished.
Okay.
I want to text us the Cove. Wait, I want to be in the picture too. That's very cute. Cove will appreciate our pilgrimage to the stone idol. You laugh. Wait, I want to be in the picture. Oh, sure. You held your hand out in the air above the markings and Derek went another thumbs up. We snapped the picture. Excuse me. Now it's perfect. Yeah. You caught Derek's gaze wandering off again. He hummed thoughtfully and you followed his eye line to the local store across the street.
Oh, man.
I just remembered I'm still low on groceries. We could journey over there. We could, but I'm worried things will go bad on the drive back to the apartment. Plus, it's been a super long day already. How about picking something for dinner and save up the shopping for tomorrow? My treat. Sounds like a rocked up plan to me. Awesome. Think about what you're in the mood for and let's get going. Together, you eagerly went back the way you came. This time, you got in the car and drove out of Sunset Bird once more. Derek ordered from your preferred drive-thru and temporarily parked into the shade to pass out the goods. He handed you your drink and a folded paper bag. He handed you your drink and a folded paper bag with your food. You dug it immediately. Derek's ride was nice and still had a new car smell, but he had no problem with people eating in it. Period. He shared his philosophy of the inevitability that living stuff is gonna get dirty. He wasn't gonna get mad about normal wear and tear. With a big family of busy boys and inability to keep things pristine certainly must have been an unavoidable fact of life for Derek. You and him enjoyed the meal. It was long finished when he pulled into his apartment the other day at Target Park. With sunset dimmed down to inky blackness, it was hard to see. Derek switched on an interior car light as you gathered up the trash in the bags that dinner had come in. He led the way to his place, key in hand, and unlocked his door. Derek held it open for you instead of going through. You could have told someone he'd do that before it ever happened. That was second nature to Derek. He took a few steps in and flicked on the front light switch. Derek came in a second and closed the door behind him. Phew. He walked further into his living room and flopped down on his couch. That was a successful day. A long, successful day. I feel like you've already been here a week. You got here this morning. I've really been around. I've really been all around. I'm glad to be back. I practically forgot I don't live here. It was such a nice time. You know that's probably something I would say. Well, that's easily fixed. Derek then snorted and shook his head. Or maybe not easily. I just remembered when I last moved. Still, you're welcome around here anytime. Derek leaned his head back as he thought. Tomorrow's gonna be busy too. He raised his hand and counted each of the planned activities with a finger. Groceries, taking the bros out, and the Father's Day thing. It'll be great. I'm already tired just hearing it. I also want to get some gift-wise for Father's Day. He gave him a thumbs up. You yawned, not completely on purpose. Your eyes are starting drooping on the drive back. Hopefully you'll be able to sleep well tonight because you sincerely needed to recharge your batteries before the next series of events. Derek blinked sleepily, sinking further into the couch. He looked cozy. He shook himself and then suddenly clapped his hands together. But hey, you probably want to shower and settle in for real before it gets even later. He grabbed the back of the couch and hauled himself to his feet.
No worries.
We can always work on the schedule when we're not sweaty and exhausted. Sounds like a plan to me. See you soon then. Derek waved you off as you returned to the guest room. You got out your stuff, put the toiletries in the bathroom, and showered. You tried to be quick and was soon in your pajamas, winding down for bed. Once again, you were back in your room. You plugged in your phone charger and unpacked tomorrow's clothes. A knock rattled your door. Can I come in? Yeah.
Thanks.
Derek accepted your invitation and shut the door behind him after he walked in. Sup, guy? Hi. He went over to Derek. He sat down on the bed for the conversation. He sat on the bed and patted the spot next to you. You stuffed your suitcase and hopped on the bed. You were going to have a break from that. If you were going to have a break from that, you're going to be comfortable doing it. He grinned boyishly at you. Everything good in here? Yep, definitely. I triple checked that I brought everything. It looks like I forgot my wallet, you joked. I forgot to pack shampoo and conditioner. That's so me though. It is, thanks for the accent. You smiled back in response. I'd forget to do this.
Don't worry about that.
I would do that. That is me. Don't sweat it, it happens. You can use mine, or we can grab some at the store tomorrow. You let out a breath of relief. You appreciate how Derek was so good at handling setbacks, at least in most cases. He nodded. You decided to use his. You plan to get a travel size set at the store tomorrow. I'll pick some up tomorrow. I'll pick some up tomorrow. I'll add it to the shopping list. Derek stretched his arms above his head and yawned. Despite his sleepiness, he remained upbeat. Rather than seeming done with the conversation, he appeared to be mulling something over, probably what to say next. He wasn't being responsible and going to bed early. He didn't mind. This was your first day back together, and there was no need to rush its in. A spark came to his eyes, inspiration striking him. He instinctively leaned closer to you, bringing your face almost nose to nose. Pascal, while you're here, we should go to a water park. There's one a ways away, but it'd be so worth it. He eagerly continued to lay out his thought process.
Oh,
Oops.
man. Oh, man.
There we go. We haven't done something like that since that boardwalk. Man, that was ages ago, and our families were there. If we tried it, we could keep it just you and me. Obviously, there's not a chance tomorrow. So how about the day after that? We could get there first thing, spend the afternoon together, and get going before it gets late. He paused and took a hopeful breath. All his attention focused on your reaction. So, what do you think? I love to go. That's perfect. I'd be willing to give it a try. Well, alright. Give a thumbs up. I love to go. That sounded like a lot of fun. He remembered how much Derek had talked up water parks before. Going to a water park would be such a fantastic thing to do.
All right.
Derek's smile widened. You could tell he was already mentally planning how the adventure would go. It sort of felt like being asked out on a date. In a roundabout, indirect manner, I could go either way depending however you wanted to take it. Textbook Derek. It was a relief that Derek didn't put you on the spot. You don't want things to change. You've been hoping that he asked you on a real date. The way that just gives us options to like, hey, you wanna pop the question now? You wanna pop the question now? They keep giving me chances. You didn't know what you would have said, but this way, you had a chance to think it over and make your own decision. I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna keep pushing it off. The ball was in your court. He passed it to you. You could keep it for as long as you wanted. With no further prompting, he winked. Since I'm finally saying this, I might as well admit the rest. I've thought about inviting you to a water park before, and not only the water park. There are a lot of places I want to take you when we live closer to each other. There was always a reason not to. I was busy, you were probably busy. We probably wouldn't like my idea and all that.
That's what I thought.
He dropped his gaze and shrugged. You waited for him to rally, to turn it around. You could picture him saying something positive, maybe better late than never, or being glad that he finally did it. But the silence continued. No silver lining came. He failed in his past endeavors, and that was it. No one spoke, and the awkwardness began to press on you. But Derek brightened his voice. I wanted to let it linger any longer. Well, it's late. I shouldn't keep you up. I'll see you tomorrow bright and early. We should plan to leave the apartment by 8 for shopping. Everything's close enough that we can walk if that's alright. Okay.
Good night.
Okay, great. Good night, Pascal. Night. Good night, Derek. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You hummed affirmatively. Night. Derek nodded and left the room without another word, leaving you alone. After all of what you had earned your exhaustion. You were at your limit. Too sleepy to do anything else. You flicked the light switch and went straight to bed. You woke up the next morning in an unfamiliar but awfully comfortable bed. The sheets smelled of an unknown laundry detergent. You slowly absorbed your surroundings. This is Derek's place, wasn't it? And you were on a schedule. You groaned and rolled over to check the clock on the side table. It was hours before you had to leave. You had woken up with plenty of time. You You had slept in. You need to hurry. You slipped out of the bed and casually got yourself ready. Soon you wandered into the living room, your mind drifting back to what Derek said last night. It was a heavy admission from him. His lack of confidence to reach out to you. You didn't want to dwell on it. It was a big day for the entire Swatters family, and you didn't want to rain on their parade just because you were aware that it used to flood in the past. Derek would bring it up if he wanted to talk more about it, but until then, you would let it lie. The man on your mind was nowhere to be seen when you left the hall, but you did notice a note sitting in the kitchen counter. You checked the message. Derek wanted you to know that he had gone down to the gym in the apartment complex. You read the rest of it aloud to yourself. So that's where I'll be if you don't see me. I'll be back around 7:30 a.m. Thanks, Derek. He smiled at his consideration. He could have texted you, but had probably worried about disturbing you. Making physical notes was an old habit of his. You checked your phone and it was 7 a.m. You had 30 minutes to fill. Can we visit him in the gym? No. You read a book you brought. You read on your phone. You played a game on your phone. You watched something on your phone. You turned on Derek's TV. Luckily, you knew precisely how to entertain yourself. You took a seat on the couch and unlocked your phone. You opened an app with a tap of your finger and found a video. Exactly at 7 a.m., Derek returned. A gym bag was slung over his shoulder. He appeared to have a strenuous workout with a sheen of sweat on his skin.
Morning.
Pascal, what you up to? Good morning, Derek. I've been watching something. Cool, I was at the gym. I know, I found your note.
Awesome.
Oops, messed up.
Awesome.
Perfect, that's what it was for. He started to laugh and you joined in. It was nice to have him back. Derek took a quick shower and you two left the apartment to run your errands before the day could start in earnest. Derek picked the most direct path to the nearby grocery store. Around you, the city bustled as people tried to get to work. Cars lined the streets, and people hurried into various buildings. It took approximately 10 minutes to reach the automatic doors of the store and step into the air conditioning. Various displays tried to sell you on all the Father's Day deals. There wasn't much about it that set this one apart from the one in your old town. We're probably gonna need a cart. He pulled one out with a smooth movement. It had a slightly streaky wheel.
Let's get to it.
There, we're ready to go. He leaned over the handle like he was at the start of a kart race, waiting for the shock to go off. So, what protein you on? It was a good question. At that point of your life, you were a vegetarian. That was something Derek was ordered well, but he couldn't make an entire meal plan for you. We can start cooking at home for some of your meals, though a lot of what we'll eat today will probably still be from our parents' house or restaurants. I'd say we only need 2 or 3 packs of things.
What do you think?
I want to get eggs for myself, but I want to make sure there's stuff you can eat too. I mean, I eat eggs. Yeah.
What do you think?
You inspect the surroundings and thought about what you wanted. You wanted tofu. You wanted lentils. You wanted beans. I love beans. I mean, might as well get everything if we can get all of it. That'll work. Great.
All right.
Now let's grab some veggies to go with that and some rice or whatever. Let's remember to check the discount rack. We should get a jug of lemonade. How about oatmeal? We could grab some granola. Mangoes will be good. Sure, that's a plan. I don't like mangoes too much. I really don't like granola. Not really oatmeal either. We should grab a jug of lemonade.
All right.
Sure, that's a plan. Derek brightened and bounced on the balls of his feet. From there, you continued with your purposeful browsing. Derek speed walked with the cart. He kept things moving but wasn't rushing you either. It was nearly as leisurely as when you first shopped with him. neither you were in a rush and appreciated the company. However, as adults, the atmosphere between you was markedly different. Before, you had investigated the store as if every shelf could hold buried treasure. Now, the items took little attention, and you spent more energy absorbing each other's presence. Grocery store shopping was more of a chore and less of an experience. However, even chores weren't bad with Derek. You both debated brands, helped spot elusive items, and encouraged each other to get what you wanted. If one of you hesitated over something, the other would compel the other to treat themselves. Mutual decisions were praised for the good taste, and strange selections were jokingly critiqued. It was the best visit to the grocery store you had in ages.
Hey, didn't you need to pick up some shampoo and conditioner?
Right, I almost forgot again. You swung by the travel aisle and picked up a pair that would work for your stay. It need to smell good. You searched for something that was hydrating. You'll have to keep your messy hair smooth. A bottle that had a dinosaur on it was enough to sell you on it. I mean, I have curly hair, so I don't know if I need to keep it smooth. I mean, like keep the frizz tamed, probably. Yeah. The summer air could be a frizz disaster for your head. There was a set of hair products so similar to you. You were thankful to find many versions of them. After getting the goods, you went through the self-checkout to pay for it all. Derek scanned and you bagged until everything was put away and paid for. The part of the shopping trip was over. Now you had to carry it all back on foot. Derek loaded himself up with supplies eagerly. I love that smirk that he has, his smile. It's a nice one. Do you normally carry your groceries like this? I didn't think about having to walk back with this stuff. It's nice seeing him in a good mood. Derek was highly amused for your lack of forethought.
Come on.
Walking with extra weight is a bonus.
He grabbed the bags without asking to help. It soon became obvious that he intended to carry all of them. You hurried and snatched a few bags before he could. You waited for Derek to finish. You wouldn't let him get away with such a scheme.
Oh, well, thank you.
You retracted the path back to the apartment, crossing through the crowded streets and bundles of groceries. The pace was brisk. The two of you had places to be and people to see. As soon as you returned, Derek dumped the bags onto the counter. He turned his head over his shoulder to face you.
We could just put the cold stuff in the fridge and leave it to rest. We've gotta go soon.
You placed what you carried on the end of the counter. You snatched the eggs and opened a nearly empty refrigerator. Where in the fridge?
Whatever works.
What sage organizational advice? You nodded along with Derek's enthusiasm.
Let's do it.
With such confident determination, the two of you tore through the bags in search of goods that needed to stay chilled. With a team effort, it only took a couple minutes to put the groceries away safely.
Nice work, Pascal.
He offered you a triumphant high five. You gave his hand a loud smack.
Now nothing's stopping us. We can actually eat some of the groceries we got.
I'll agree with that. Given the ticking clock, you had a fast and simple breakfast. While it wasn't fancy, it satisfied your appetite.
It would fuel you throughout the day.
When you were done, Derek placed the dirty dishes in the sink. He gave them a light rinse and wiped his hands.
Right.
We gotta go. The bros are waiting.
In short order, you exited the apartment. As you would be staying out longer, Derek was more cautious leaving this place. Derek double-checked that he locked the door and went to his car. He jumped into the passenger seat and buckled your seatbelt. Derek started the ignition and checked behind him before he easily pulled out of the spot.
Jorge texted me and said he was already at mom and dad's place. He's gonna leave his car there, and then you, me, and him and Nico will all go in mine. It'll be too much of an extra hassle to make Jorge drive behind us. He grinned cheekily with a knowing glance. But I did already tell him that you had dibs on the shotgun.
Thank you. You're a champ. You didn't have to do that. Does Jorge normally get the shotgun? I hope your brothers aren't mad about that. You didn't have to do
No
that.
worries.
My brothers won't mind. Nicolas is used to the back seat, and Jorge can give her the front for a little while you're in town.
Well, if you're sure, thanks. Derek was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. His focus stayed on the road. He boldly navigated through the packed streets, his entire demeanor screaming his familiarity with this drive. The sounds of traffic droned on, making it easy to zone out. You hadn't even noticed that the conversation had completely dropped off until Derek spoke up with a question.
So,
Thoughts on what you were watching before? Was it any good?
It was great. It was pretty good. There's worse out there. It was kind of awful, if I'm being honest. It was pretty good. I'm just gonna assume we don't even know what we were watching.
That's cool. Better than the alternative.
How was the gym?
It was excellent. I worked up a sweat this morning. Thanks for asking.
That's good. What do you think we'll do today? What's your workout schedule? You quietly looked out the window. Saw your workout schedule.
well,
I do 2 days on and 1 day off. At least when I'm talking about full gym workouts. I walk and jog regularly too. I get antsy if I go too long without doing anything.
He listened with interest as he went on into more detail about his current sets and goals. Derek turned to the same parking lot from the day before. You arrived at the other Suarez house. You both got out of the car and walked up to the door in the complex. It swung open before Derek could knock. Derek took a step back, not expecting it. Jorge grinned from the doorway and welcomed you inside.
hey,
Hey bro.
Welcome back.
Jorge fist bumped his brother, both of them excited. Hello, having a good morning?
So far.
He led you further into the condo. Nicolas was lounging on the couch. He twisted around to face you.
You're here.
Finally, you can hear his voice. And that's basically the voice I gave him. Nicolas cheered and threw his hands up in the air. He hopped off the cushion and bounced to his feet. He ran to the entryway, immediately going to Derek.
Of course. We wouldn't miss it.
He noticed Mr. and Mrs. Suarez cleaning up the kitchen. They must have just finished breakfast themselves.
Oh, looks like we have company.
Welcome. It's nice to see you two. Derek nodded and his mom turned around to put a jar of strawberry jam to the refrigerator.
hello.
Hello, Derek. Good morning, Pascal. How's the drive? Hello, Dad. Hi, Dad. The drive was the same as usual, but forget about that.
Derek looked with anticipation and beamed.
Congrats.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Excuse me.
Mrs. Suarez patted her husband on the back and he puffed up, full proud dad mode.
Thank you.
Oh, my mom said happy Father's Day to you too. He directed his attention towards you.
Thank you again. It's a wonderful day already.
Derek observed contentedly before glancing over his brothers. Jorge had pulled up his phone at some point and Nicolas absentmindedly fiddled with his hair clips.
You two ready to go?
Yeah.
I was born ready. With that zealous claim, Nicolas was suddenly fired up. Jorge crossed his arms decidedly not as energetic. I'm not that level of ready, but I can manage leaving now.
Do you need anything, Pascal?
Also, I noticed, like, I'm looking at their faces again, and Derek's ears are so pointy. He has such a point. Like, his is more rounded. He's like this elf. I don't think so.
All right, let's go.
Are you sure?
No one needs to go potty. Mr. Suarez poked a hand into the conversation, her expression too innocent. All three sons slumped their shoulders and sighed.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
Perfect. She clapped her hands together and the boys relaxed, all showing different degrees of amusement.
Have a good one.
Have fun. We'll see you this evening.
Goodbye. Talk to you later.
We'll be there. Now let's roll.
Derek led the way after waving to his parents. He held the door for you and his brothers. Outside, he unlocked the car and it beeped. Jorge and Nicolas beeline for the vehicle. Jorge initially went for the passenger seat before catching himself and opened the back door. Nicolas barreled into the back seat without hesitation. You and Derek got into the car, completing the seating arrangement that Derek had discussed prior. As Derek turned the key into the ignition, it struck you that the last time you had been on an outing with only the four of you was when you had been the boys' babysitter. Now Jorge was an actual adult, and Nicolas wasn't that far behind him. It was surreal, thinking about how much had changed over the years. Everyone had grown up. You wonder how Nicolas and Jorge felt about hanging out with the big kids as equals. Derek cranked up the AC, but kept the car in park. He leaned his head back.
What's up?
So, Nico, where am I going?
The youngest leaned forward, sticking his head through the gap between the car's front seats. Xake? Is that how you say it? Xake.
I want to go to
Xake. It's so weird. X-cake? Is it X-cake? X-cake? How do you pronounce that? Xake. Okay.
I want to go to Xake. It's a bakery.
Derek raised his eyebrows and exchanged a look with Jorge.
Whoa, that's a surprise. Even more than one that I figured. You're not a fan of cakes and cupcakes and all things sugary. Wait, you're not a fan of cupcakes and cakes and all things sugary? Yeah, I thought you grew out of all that.
Jorge's tone was more teasing than Garrick's, dry with mock skepticism. Nicolas rolled his eyes. I did. Most desserts are totally inedible. This place is different. The owner is cool, and we should totally support local businesses. They've got vegan and gluten-free options and other stuff too. Now, can we get over there? The later it gets, the more stuff will be sold out. Bring it up on your phone. It should be 20 minutes from here. Derek chuckled, but chose not to comment on all the defensive explanations.
Your wish is my command.
Thanks.
Nicolas smiled, sweeter than his dessert preferences. Derek brought out his phone and typed out Zake. Okay, so that's how you pronounce it. On the maps program. Nothing obvious turned up. Nicolas snorted, still poking his head towards the front of the car. Try an X, not a Z.
I got you.
Derek corrected his spelling and tapped the first result. It was an open, averagely busy, and estimated 22 minutes away.
Now buckle up.
Nicolas flung himself backward and settled into the seat. Derek waited for himself to click the seatbelt before shifting the car into reverse. Jorge had been buckled since his brother passed out the car, and you weren't far behind. You wondered if it was normal for Nicolas to need a reminder. The discussions chimed in over the speakers to head east. Derek shook his head.
Let me escape the parking lot first.
Oops, I skipped something. No, okay. He muttered to the mapping program as it kept giving him unhelpful instructions. Once he reached the road, it finally stopped complaining about Derek's twists and turns. Jorge drew one of his legs up and leaned against the car door comfortably.
If we're going somewhere with a bakery, we could have gone to the grocery store. Think about the convenience.
No.
Come on, bro. We've got a car now. We We gotta have higher standards than a grocery store bakery section. Jorge laughed back at him and doubled down.
No.
I still would have picked a normal supermarket. It's a classic. Derek grinned as he flicked his turn signal on. Most of his attention was on the stoplight in front of him, but he still took an opportunity to banter.
Sorry.
Jorge and Pascal and I went to the grocery store. Sorry, Jorge. Pascal and I went to the grocery store today without you. Already? Yeah, I was basically out of everything. Shoot, he missed out then. Jorge closed his eyelids tightly and hummed in thought. Remember back when Nicolas insisted on swallowing his allowance on a carton of eggs so he could see if cooking them on the sidewalk worked? Yeah, I also remember all the raw egg puddles and eating scrambled eggs for breakfast and dinner. Nicolas shrugged his shoulders high, justified but hiding his embarrassment. Inquiring minds had to know. And it was more exciting than getting an apple. Jorge's eyes narrowed, openly judging his little brother. I wanted to eat an apple, and I did. My purchase led to zero regret, unlike your science experiment. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I always wanted to try frying an egg on the street. I tried the egg thing too when I was a kid. Jorge still Jorge. Oh my gosh. Cracking eggs on the ground is an even bigger mess than a pie fight. Hey, do you two do the thing where you stuck the hands in the veggie mist? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's probably something I would say. Jorge ducked his head but smiled at your support. Outnumbered, Nicolas scoffed. Whatever. He returned to the window, but when you looked back, you could see a reflection of a soft smile. The lively discussion continued through the drive. Hold on. Okay, my siblings just come in to speak. The lively discussion continued through the drive. About 20 minutes later, the GPS chimed that destination was on the right. Derek turned to a packed row of shops. Above one of them, a bright pink sign with electrified scroll letters proclaimed itself as Sake. I wonder if this is the same place that we also got the cake for our wedding, Coveni's wedding. Is this the same place that made our cake? It might be. I don't remember. It grabbed your attention, standing out amongst the most sedate signs around it. Nicolas shimmied in his seat. Derek found a parking space along the street and carefully parallel parked. Enough cars zoomed past on the street that Derek and Nicolas didn't feel safe opening their car doors. You and Jorge got up first and waited on the sidewalk for the two to crawl through. Nicolas stifled his laughter as he watched Derek contort himself over the gear shift. The spot had a meter, so Derek paid for 30 minutes worth of parking. We should be in an hour, right? You're not planning to have a whole meal here. Definitely not.
All right.
And that'll work. Despite the minor bumps getting there, all the boys were visibly thrilled. You were delighted. Nicolas fussed his hair and readjusted his romper. Once he had straightened it back out, he nodded at Jorge, who waited behind him. Derek marched ahead of the pack, and he was certain that he was going to hold six to open for everyone. You treasured his gallantry. He rushed ahead to open it first. He was truly considerate. He felt warm inside when he took hold of the handle and pushed it forward. He held it wide and waited for you and his little brothers to pass. Nicolas skipped on by with Jorge not far behind him. He followed them but turned to Derek with nowhere near. Thanks for holding the door.
No worries.
You continued in, and
Derek was only a step behind you. Yeah, I do remember this place. This is the place where we got our wedding cake. The swing of the door as it jangled. Wait, the swing of the door as it closed jangled a sprightly bell. Okay. It set the tone of the place immediately. A classic yet cozy atmosphere that was full to bursting with warm and inviting scents, and most everything was some shade of pink or cream. If the owner could have made the green leaves of live plants around the room a delicate baby pink instead, you didn't doubt they would have. The four of you went over and clustered together near the front of the shop. Today's freshly made confection sat in perfectly aligned rows beside a glass display, each of its own paper doily underneath. No other customers were inside at the time, but you weren't alone for more than a minute. The bell had announced your arrival, and the sound dropped some from the back. They blended in with the store style, so exactly it had to be intentional. A soft, pointed face was painted with an expertly applied makeup that could rival the pristine details of the cake's on offer. It was framed by a few strands of hair, length pastel pink. It was framed by a few strands of shoulder-length pastel pink hair. The rest of it was propped into a fancy updo with floral accessories. As glamorous as the employee was, they weren't too good for a homemade apron to protect their pretty clothes from the messy behind-the-scenes work that lovely bakeries demanded. A shiny purple button on the strap had their pronouns printed in the back letters. They, them. They greeted the small crowd with a smile, with a gentle ambient tone. I don't remember the voice I gave this person. Welcome to Zag. Thanks for coming by.
Hi.
Okay, Xavier. Okay. Hi. Okay, that's okay. Hi, I'll match that.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Xavier, the head baker, and I own the shop too.
Hey.
Sup, Xavier? His reply was familiar to the point of being flippant. Nico wasn't even looking at them when he said it. He leaned lower and began pursuing the daily options up close. Hello, Nico. Your patroness is always welcome. With the personal greetings between the two complete, Xavier looked over the rest of the gang with a friendly smile.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Okay, what is this accent?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you again too. Derek's usual conversationalist skills failed him. He was loath to embarrass another person by pointing out the little fact that they were going to see each other again. A total stall in the exchange was avoided thanks to the fact that Jorge didn't have the same reservations. He could speak far more frankly. We've never been here before, only Nico. Though maybe Pascal has. I can't speak for him. He raised an eyebrow while glancing your way. He paused a small correction to let you contribute your side concerning the bakery. You shook your head at the possibility of this being a repeat spot for you. As far as you knew, because it didn't exist the last time you were in the city. This is my first time. That's what I thought. You don't know us. Xavier's grin was undaunted. That might have been a customer service skill, but Nicolas snickered mischievously in the background and gave away that something else was likely the reason for the calm reaction to Jorge's directness. Huh? Who are you? You Suarez brothers may not have been all together in my bakery before, but we certainly have already met more than once. Who are you? Hello? 4 eyes went wide and 2 mouths grimaced at the same time in the same way. Xavier spoke so surely and plainly. Derek and Jorge flipped instantly from viewing them as a stranger to embarrassment of up against someone they should have known. Who is this? How do you know who I am?
Wait a second. And Pascal, was it? I think we might be acquainted too. Your face was a perfect reflection of shock. You were skeptical. Maybe it was a joke Nico and them were pulling. That made you curious. You eagerly waited to find out more. It suddenly hit you what they meant. I mean, I'd be shocked too. I have no idea. One more pair of eyes grew, and another mouth clenched. Two of the three brothers transparently inspected Xavier up and down, trying to put together how they might have met the mysterious baker who claimed to know them. Meanwhile, the youngest of the set pretended that he was still scrutinizing desserts. But unless they had jokes hidden in the frosting, Nicholas's highly amused smirk reflected in the glass revealed that he was fully engaged in the conversation happening above him. Jorge tilted his head from one side to the other across his arms. Derek subconsciously scratched the side of his face at the awkward turn it was taken.
Well,
Sorry, I'm blanking on who you are. How do we meet? Xavier's eyes flooded closely as they primly straightened the apron.
Don't apologize.
Nicholas is with his hair clips and wild locks is very recognizable. He hasn't changed at all. If I only saw one of you as an adult in isolation, I doubt I would have realized who you were either. As adults? That one point jumped out at Jorge so distinctly he spoke it back to Xavier as if Nicholas was mimicking Derek. I'm trying to think, who is this? Did we see him at the boardwalk or something like that? I'm confused. Exactly. The last time we saw each other, you were at least 2 feet shorter. Xavier hovered the flattened fingers in front of them like they were resting on the counter, roughly around 4 feet high as a visual demonstration. They progressively lifted their hand up until the palm was high enough that it could have sat on top of the fully grown Jorge's head if he was closer, utilizing their tiptoes as necessary for the feet. I gave them a completely different voice. Completely different voice. I gave them like this emo Californian accent. I've always had an artist's soul. My medium wasn't always decorative pastries. My first job straight out of high school was painting faces at the big boardwalk.
whoa.
Derek's face went alight with a flash of recognition. The fingers that had been scraped his skin twitched and then started to searchingly press along the length of his cheek, as though a painted rainbow might have suddenly appeared there. Jorge slapped his hand against his forehead. It all became so obvious to him. The trio of excitable yet well-behaved brothers who'd come by a few times a year were some of my favorite customers. But Xavier, quite literally, didn't forget about you either, and they shifted their gaze to rest on you.
Well,
And I'm relatively sure that one time the boys brought friends with them, and one of those friends was you. Oh, you finally got it. That day on the boardwalk had been memorable for many reasons, but embarrassingly, the identity of the artist had slipped through the mental cracks, yeah. A tiny chuckle bubbled out. This wasn't even the first time a lack of recollection led you to a reunion. You weren't as good as recognizing faces as Baxter, clearly. A huge childlike grin filled out Derek's face. He looked no different than he did all the years ago when you first met Xavier, massive muscles aside.
I'm impressed.
You're spot on. One time, Pascal and his older sis came with us, and we all stopped by your face painting stall. I can't believe we met again, and like this, in a bakery of all things. It's awesome. Derek resolved to restart the interaction on the right foot, and he finally gave a greeting of his own to Xavier. Hey again, Xavier the artist.
The middle brother followed his eldest example and offered a reprise to his original statement.
Okay. Good to see you again, too.
Wow, this is so cool. Small world, Xavier. He was speechless. He chuckled. Wow. Xavier was just tickled by the reception. The visit was going to be worth it for them even if you walked away without purchasing a single slice of cake. At some point, Nicolas had stopped eyeballing the pastries and leaned coolly against the counter. He also finally rejoined the conversation instead of existing as an entertained audience member.
I told you the owner was cool.
Oh, thank you for talking me up, Nicolas. Now that we're all reacquainted, is there anything I can do for you? Nico slipped his hands into his pockets, stayed totally chill.
I'll probably just get a couple things to go. I want...
He paused and squinted down over the counter at the treats one more time.
Get me an eclair. And a cup of water, too.
Will do. Anything else?
They surveyed the other three people in the room as they asked the question and waited for a response. Jorge approached his only little brother at the front display, shooting him a wry smile upon his arrival. Then he quite seriously considered what was available.
I'll have a blueberry muffin. The one in the middle and on the left. My left. It looks like it has the most berries.
Xavier gave two quick nods. The hands were already busy putting together a box of Nico's selected pastry. Derek, however, stayed back. His focus went to you rather than the baker they with.
Ready?
What are you thinking? I'm gonna pass.
I don't feel like getting something. Why not try something new? I'm not sure. I'll get a better look at them. It's mainly a cake shop. I'm gonna get some cake.
Cool.
You joined the other Swallows brothers and contemplated what, if any, treats to pick up for yourself. Up close, you noticed that there were about tiny handwritten signs in front of the options. They declared what flavor each quaint confection was in pretty lupin letters. The variety was somewhat limited, but those likely weren't the only things the bakery ever had available. It was simply what was made for the day. You decide what you wanted. I'd have to get... Oh, they don't even have it here. They don't have red velvet? How do you not have red velvet? Red velvet is the best cake. Okay, I guess I'll have a vanilla cake. Vanilla's the second best. You heard Derek come up behind you. You didn't have to guess that he was trying to figure out what caught your eye. You eagerly pointed out the prize dessert.
Nice.
Xavier, I'd like to get a vanilla cake. Absolutely. And that's everything? Two packed and prepped boxes was still sitting side by side as Xavier reached behind them for a third.
Should be.
Nicolas and Jorge both gave thumbs up to confirm that they were all taken care of. The answer caused feigned confusion from Xavier.
So?
You're not getting what Derek's getting, Nico? That kind of teasing from someone other than the Swatters caught you entirely by surprise, but Nicholas was able to quit back with ease.
Maybe I would have, but Derek isn't getting anything. He'd lose out on the sale if I copied that.
Good point. You don't need to do that. Hey, why don't you be the one to pick out something for him instead?
Sorry.
No thanks. That's not how this works.
It was worth a shot. Do chuckle good-naturedly. Let me ring you up. Those were the magic words to draw Derek fully over to the front. He came to a spot right across from the register. Didn't go unnoticed.
Derek?
You're the only one who didn't get anything. You shouldn't pay.
Nico snapped his head around and looked with a look of true offense at what had gone behind his back. He folded his arms disapprovingly, catching Derek with his hand in the metaphorical cookie jar. Or rather, putting his own cookies in someone else's jar.
What?
Derek made a look of full surprise that gave Xavier a response to Nicolas's non-mimic decision, making a run for his money with a scoff of played-up disbelief.
You can't take away my childhood. You can't take away my oldest child privilege of treating my little brothers? And Pascal's my guest. Why wouldn't I pick up the tab for him?
The middle and youngest Swadesses share concerned glances with one another. They brows knit and they frown salty. However, the brotherly nonverbal communication gradually softened their expressions. Their eyes carried the message they needed, and soon they were shrugging in acceptance. Derek gave a winning grin and pulled out his awaiting wallet. He was forever the big brother, after all. Thank you, Derek. I'm still paying for me, even if you're coming for them. What a gentleman. You accept his generosity as well. You put out your own wallet regardless. Thank you, Derek.
You're welcome.
The treats were paid for, and Xavier carefully pressed over the crisp white boxes to their rightful owners. The Xake logo was printed in, of course, pink ink across the top flaps. They also handed over a cup of water for Nicolas.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for your lovely patronage. Derek, Jorge, and Nicolas each gave a cheery goodbye and began to walk out as a group. You gave a wave and turned to leave with them. Thank you too, bye. Your group's first stop of the day was complete in a sweetly satisfying way. Everyone got back into their car, same seats as before. No one had even put their seatbelts on before Jorge asked a very reasonable question.
Now what?
Well, now what? There we go. That's good enough. Derek checked the backseat through the mirror.
Yeah, what now, Nico?
Nicolas crossed his arms behind his head, thoughtfully staring out the window. All eyes stayed on today's decision maker. He considered long and hard in the hot car about how to use his power. In the end, he went to his old default. The teen leaned all the way over and popped his head through the gap between two front seats. He glanced back and forth between you and Derek with one fuzzy brow arched. Why you make it sound like we're so old?
What did people do when you were teens?
Oh, man.
Literally, like, come on. And now we actually like relating to this now. Like, how old am I right now? I'm 22. Yes, I'm 22 years old. Right? Yes, I am. Okay.
Oh, what? Way to make us sound ancient. We're 23.
We're not over the hill yet.
Darn kids these days, you joked.
We aren't old, Nicolas. We are old. Nicolas is a little baby. Nico wants to do what Derek did? What a surprise. He dropped his head with a heavy sigh. He merely shrugged. Kids these days. Nico was unapologetic over his phrasing. He smirked and pressed again.
I mean it. What was the place to be when you weren't babysitting me and Jorge?
Derek tapped a finger against the steering wheel. I remember the mall being super cool when I was still in school, but that started to die out, huh?
What?
The mall? Really? The mall? Really?
Sparkles began to twinkle in Nicolas's eye like a twilight sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
The word was a nostalgic whisper. His gaze drifted off to somewhere else in the distance. I'm like, who's Mrs. Priest? Oh, yeah, Cole's mother.
Hey, Pascal. Remember when Miss Priest brought you, me, Cove, and Lee to the mall and took off so we were on our own? I thought that was such a bad idea, but it was a ton of fun.
Of course I remember that. Those are the days. I still have no idea why she did that. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Definitely, she was cool. You smiled warmly at him. Of course I remember that.
That's great.
Jorge shrugged his single shoulder, bucking himself in for the ride.
I've only ever gone there with Mom to get some new clothes. I don't remember it being any better than any other store, but if that's what Nico wants to do, I don't mind.
Let's go!
Nicolas launched himself backwards and bounced into his seat. He stayed still just long enough to lock his seatbelt into place.
Let's get to it.
The mall it is. 2 more clicks followed as you and Derek put your seatbelts on. Derek pulled out and you were on the road once more. The drive was spent with Derek trying and failing to remember all the stores that used to be in the county mall. He listed several off, but had no idea how many were still open in the year 2021. Ooh, 2021! This was 5 years ago. Or if they were even real store names, or if he was mixing the words up. His little brothers reveled in a laugh-inducing, floundering explanation of the magical mall of his youth. He took bets on how many of the shops they'd actually see when they got there. Jorge guessed only about 3 of them would be there if they ever existed. Nicolas declared that every single one would be there, even the ones that definitely sounded made up. Derek, reasonable as always, went down the middle with his own recollection and guessed that you'd be able to find about half of them there. You agree with Jorge, you agree with Nicolas, you agree with Derek. You announced that Derek wouldn't be right about any of them. All 3 brothers snickered at that. When you roll back into the county mall's expensive parking lot, Derek was able to get a parking spot without any trouble. There were rows and rows of cracked and all-stained slots, with only a single car or 2 there already. As Derek thought, the location had lost most of its popularity as the years went on. It was at least convenient for your needs. It was probably the only place in the city where the parking wasn't jam-packed. The 4 of you filed out of the car, crossed the lot, and passed through the tower front doors. Okay, so I'm gonna save here, and we'll pick this back up next time. I don't know if I might play this again tomorrow or play it again next week. I have to see how I'm feeling. But yeah, it was good seeing everybody again, especially the brothers. Wow, they look so good. Look so grown up. I'm so surprised. Like, does Miss Suarez, does she die? Does she die here? She just hasn't gone gray yet. I'm curious. Anyway, that was fun. So I can't wait to see the rest of this moment. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna stream again this week. I'm at least gonna stream Omori sometime before Monday. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sometime before Monday. And I might play this again, like I said, tomorrow or maybe next week or something like that. But yeah, I'm feeling very tired right now. I want to go to sleep. I'm so sleepy right now. Okay, I saved right? Okay, I did save. Okay. So yeah, thank y'all very kindly for coming. Much obliged as always. And I hope you will be back again. Whenever I come back. Because I said I don't know if I'm gonna stream again. But yeah. Y'all come back now, you heard me. Have a good night. Bye.